Hello. Devon Biggins here, your local realtor. I hope all is well. Just wanted to share some things with you guys today that I think will be very helpful, especially for the buyers out there. So really important for you guys to know is that there's a difference between a down payment and your closing costs. So they do get handled kind of at the same time, at the end of the transaction that you're closing, but there's a huge difference. So your initial investment, your down payment, let's say you see a home you love and it's $100,000. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you're gonna put down maybe 3.5% if you're doing like FHA. And so that's 3.5%, so that's $3,500. So that is going to be considered what's called your initial investment, your down payment, right? So after that's all taken care of, you're going to acquire some other costs. You're going to have your home inspection, which is a separate cost. You're going to have your appraisal, which is a separate cost. And depending on your loan office or the type of inspection you have, that can be anywhere between, $400 to let's say $700 a piece for the inspection and the appraisal. Those are just separate costs that's not included into your down payment. Now for your closing cost, right? So now for your closing, in Connecticut, we do pay our homeowners insurance in advance. We do pay our taxes in advance. So what happens is that your mortgage company holds that money in what we call like an escrow account. So most of the time, you're not paying your taxes and your insurance on your own. It's all coming out of your one mortgage payment that you make to your bank, and then your bank makes the payment to your insurance and to your taxes, which is pretty good, so you don't get in default. Everything's going one direction, right? So your closing cost includes your taxes, right? Your 1 year of your homeowner's insurance, right? Your loan origination fee. So in order for your whatever mortgage company you're using, they're going to charge you to give you that loan. You're going to have title insurance. You're going to have mortgage insurance. So if you're FHA and it's a government loan, basically the government charges you to give you that loan just for their own security. All right, but you pay that insurance, right? So on top of what your mortgage is, you may have an additional fee, which is be tacked on to your mortgage payment, but that's important to know. And so to get rid of that, what you'll have to do is at some point, if you're able to, you'd have to switch your loan from an FHA to conventional with doing a refinance. So if you can do that, you'll save yourself a substantial amount of money, which will be definitely to your benefit. All right, and so you have your attorney fees. So normally, the closing cost is going to be an additional 3 to 5% of the price of the home, on average. So when you're shopping at homes, these are things that you definitely want to look at. You want to talk to your lender about their fees that they have. You also want to pay attention to the taxes of the property that you're going to be purchasing, and different things of that nature that are going to also be included into that price. And so when you get to the closing table, your attorney should give you an itemized bill of what things will cost. But it's super important, guys, that we understand that your down payment, your initial investment, is separate from your closing costs. Two different entities, and it's important to know that, just to make sure that your finances are in order when it's time to get to the closing. Nothing worse than getting ready to close and then you're short, right? So these are questions as a buyer that you want to just know moving throughout the transaction, to make sure that everything is going to be where it's at, so you can be confident that you're going to close in your home. Now, these are just some of the costs that go into your closing. Depending on the type of home or who you're dealing with, there may be other costs associated with it. But this is basically to let you know that there's a difference between your down payment and your closing costs. All right, and definitely get in touch with me or your local realtor, whoever that is, or anybody who has some knowledge in the game that can school you to this and put you on, so you'll be prepared. All right, talk to you soon.